Coming up on the Center County Report, find out if Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's testimony influenced Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination process. Also, College Game Day is back in Happy Valley. Has it impacted State College and its local businesses? Plus, a special guest will join us in the studio. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Tom Shively.
And I'm Laura McKinney. Thanks for joining us.
We begin with breaking news on the controversial Brett Kavanaugh Supreme Court nomination. The Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to vote at 1:30 this afternoon on the nomination. That comes after a long day of emotional testimony yesterday from Kavanaugh and his accuser. A full Senate vote on Kavanaugh's nomination could happen early next week.
Penn State is working with the state health department to monitor a confirmed case of meningitis at University Park. The patient is a student who's now recovering after they received treatment. People close to the student were notified and given antibiotics. Another health concern right now in parts of Center County is mold. It is one of the lingering effects of record summer rain and humidity. Brandon Pelter has more. Experts say if you find mold in your home, bleach and other household cleaning products may not kill it. Call a mold removal service as soon as possible for help.
It's a big weekend in State College with a top 10 football matchup between Penn State and Ohio State in the whiteout game. And ESPN's College Game Day show is back for the second straight year. Jack Hirsch takes a look at the impact of the popular show on downtown State College and the university. College Game Day airs live from the Old Main Lawn from 9 a.m. until noon tomorrow. Fans can begin lining up to enter the game day pit near the stage at 5:30 a.m. Let's check in now at the game day set with reporter Brandon Pelter. He's live at Old Main. Brandon?
Thanks, Tom. Here at Old Main, College Game Day set just about ready to go for tomorrow's show, but plenty of fans around here and taking in the great atmosphere. In fact, they'll have a cornhole tournament here at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Make sure if you plan on coming out, wear those rain boots. Plenty of showers last night have made Old Main plenty wet and very muddy. Live from the Old Main Lawn, Brandon Pelter for the Center County Report. Back to you.
Great, thanks Brandon. Well, game day is great for businesses, but so are some other events in our area. Center County's Chamber of Business and Industry and the Blair County Chamber of Commerce joined forces to create their first ever business expo called BizX. I had a chance to attend and learn more. Next event hosted by the Chamber of Business and Industry for Center County will be in December for the Excellence in Business Awards.
Penn State police are now armed with a new weapon in the fight against drugs. More on that in a minute.
Plus the weekend weather forecast. Also coming up, we'll take you live to Nittanyville to see how the most die-hard Penn State football fans are getting ready for the big game this weekend. Police on 7 Penn State campuses are now equipped with kits that can help save lives during drug overdoses. Naloxone is used for emergency treatment in opioid overdose cases, and officers are now carrying naloxone at the University Park, Berks, Beaver, Brandywine, Great Valley, Du Bois, and Barron campuses. Plans are in the works to equip officers with other campuses soon.
A new project led by the Penn State Office of Physical Plant and Alternative Energy Development Group will provide 2,500 megawatt hours of solar-generated energy. The project will provide 1% of Penn State University Park's electrical needs. Included in the project is an informational kiosk that supports academic instruction and research. It will also provide real-time data of the project. The university hopes this will advance research and grant developing opportunities. According to a new report, African Americans living in Pennsylvania are the most at-risk group to serve life without parole sentences. Grace Haba explains why. Felonies are ranked into 5 classes, with Class A felonies being the most severe. People convicted of one of them may face a life sentence without parole or even the death penalty.
We are going to head towards Beaver Stadium right now. We have Allie standing by here at Nittanyville. Allie?
Thanks, Logan. The skies will be clearing this afternoon, which is good news for the dedicated fans behind me who got drenched early this week. These students are participating in the annual Whiteout Campout here at Nittanyville. The different talents of Penn State students will be shown at tonight's event, Nittanyville's Got Talent. It'll wrap up the week's activities and get students ready for tomorrow's matchup. Live from Beaver Stadium, I'm Allie Lutter for the Center County Report. Now back to Matt Freiler with sports.
Thanks, Allie. Coming up next, I got a chance to sit down with College Game Day's David Pollock to talk about the show's return to Old Main Lawn. And it's the calm before the storm in Happy Valley. We have a full preview of the highly anticipated matchup between the Buckeyes and Nittany Lions. I'm Matt Freiler with sports, joined by ESPN College Game Day analyst David Pollock. David, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, dog.
So you've been all over the country
Yes,
in
sir.
all kinds of different awesome college football environments. We want to know from an outside perspective, what makes Penn State special?
Well, first of all, we've been to a ton of them, across the country. And I think the smaller schools are the most unique, probably like the North Dakota States, the JMUs. Those are really, really cool. But when you come to the bigger schools, to me, it's not even as much about the game day, but the whiteout is just stupid. It's impossible to hear. It's impossible to communicate. So this is one of the coolest places that we go to.
Awesome. So coming into this matchup, top 2 scoring offenses in the country. Penn State not really skipping a beat since Joe Moorhead left. Dwayne Haskins for Ohio State looking like an early Heisman candidate. Do you think this one's going to be a shootout, or do you think the defenses might be able to hold their own more than people expect?
No, I think you're going to get plenty of scoring. And, I understand what you're saying about the scoring offense with Penn State, but the passing game is not what it was. So that's kind of regressed a little bit. I think McSorley's legs are more involved. Miles Sanders, just next freak show up. I mean, he's doing as good of a job as Saquon Barkley did. Maybe not with the pub that Barkley got. KJ Hamler, hello, freak show. Defensive for Penn State, defensively, not good. So I think when you look at Ohio State's defense, they've been good the last couple of years, but Penn State still had success. And so I think Penn State was running. I think McSorley's legs will be the key to this game. He'll be running the football a good bit. If it needs to be 20 carries, it will be, but we're going to have a shootout.
So speaking of McSorley, you being a former Ben-Eric award-winning defensive end, you know how important it is more than anyone to get pressure on the quarterback, especially when you have a versatile guy like Trace.
Yep.
So how does Nick Bosa being out impact this Buckeye defense?
Well, it takes away the best player in college football. I think Nick Bosa is overall the best player, and he can put pressure on you. Now, McSorley is one of the best quarterbacks in the country at avoiding pressure and still making plays. But they're freaky regardless, Ohio State.
So tomorrow morning, everyone will be watching as Lee Corso makes his pick. But today in the Center County studios, we want to know who David Pollock has.
Too bad you're not getting my pick today. But I don't know what Corso's doing either. But, listen, I think I keep going back and forth. Penn State has found a way. Last year, Ohio State had a great defensive line, and Penn State still moved the football. I think they're going to move the football regardless. At home, obviously, I think you give it a couple points. So I keep going back and forth on who I'm going to pick. So you'll have to tune in tomorrow. Sorry, bro.
Well, David, we appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, for more on the game, let's go live to reporter Ellie French at Beaver Stadium.
Thanks, Matt. Penn State and Ohio State currently have the second and third longest active win streaks in college football, but one of those will end tomorrow night. Here's how the Nittany Lions have been preparing for this weekend's top 10 matchup against the Buckeyes. Last year's whiteout attendance saw a record attendance of more than 110,000 people. Coach Franklin says that as a college football fan, if you haven't experienced a whiteout game, it should be on your bucket list. Reporting outside Gate A at Beaver Stadium, I'm Ellie French. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Ellie. Now to the Little Lions. They continue to make their way through the schedule unbeaten. Coach Matt Lintel's squad is now 5-0 heading into a matchup with Central Dauphin East at Memorial Field tonight. Senior Keaton Ellis has been lighting it up for the Lions, racking up over 500 all-purpose yards and 9 touchdowns on the year. According to 24/7 Sports, Ellis is now the top overall player in the state. But before he can take his talents across town to play in Beaver Stadium, he and his teammates will look to keep the momentum rolling and finish the second half of the season strong. Now to the pitch. 24th ranked women's soccer fell to Nebraska 1-0 last night. The Nittany Lions came out striking with 3 shots on goal within the first 25 minutes, but could not find the back of the net. Nebraska's Savannah Uvegas scored the lone goal for the Huskers via a penalty kick in the 24th minute. Penn State drops to 6-5 on the season. Coming up next, a home match with Iowa on Sunday. Well, that's all for sports. Now back to you, Tom, at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Matt. Coming up next, Penn State's Berkey Creamery just released a new ice cream flavor just in time for this weekend's whiteout. Against Ohio State, we'll have the scoop after the break.
Looking for a sweet treat this weekend before the whiteout game at Penn State? How about some whiteout ice cream from the Berkey Creamery? This week, the Creamery released a new flavor called Whiteout. It's popcorn flavored with white chocolate chips and has been in the works for about a year. Unlike the other ice cream available at the Creamery, the Whiteout name was chosen before its actual flavor. It's available at the Creamery or take it to go in a 3-gallon or half-gallon tub.
Popcorn flavor, I can't really say I've had that one before. That one might be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com.
And you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Twitter feed, that's @CenterCountyREP, or on our Facebook page. Join us for our next newscast on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.